2022 is officially coming to a close. In this video, I am going to list some highlights from each month of 2022. In January, I started attending school at Central Michigan University here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Also, 3 of my Saginaw friends came down to visit me during that month. February, I went to my first college basketball game. That's also how I found out about the gig with filming events for the Chippewa Sports Network on campus. In March, I went to Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan for the first time with 3 of my Saginaw friends that stayed the night. And no, we did not gamble. We just went to look around. Also, my dad and I went to Birmingham, Alabama. That was my first time ever going to Alabama. Unfortunately, the weather was crappy that week, but my dad and I still enjoyed what we could. Both events happened over spring break, just an FYI. In April, I officially filmed my first event for the Chippewa Sports Network. It was a baseball game against Madonna University. During the month of May, my sister graduated from Heritage High School. My sister's graduation class, which was obviously the class of 2022, was the first class since my class, the class of 2019, to get a traditional ceremony at the Dow Event Center. Also, in May, I finished my 3rd year of college, which was also my first semester at CMU, and I'm proud to say that I got a 4.0 college GPA for the first time. In June, 3 of my Saginaw friends and I went to Mackinac Island. Also, my friend Jordan Westbrook turned 21 that month. And then I also won Associate of the Month at Kohl's here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan for the month of June. However, I wasn't recognized until July, since that's how it works at Kohl's. As a result, I got to park in a special parking spot for the whole month of July, and I got $40 added to one of my paychecks. In July, the biggest thing I did that month was go to Michigan's Adventure with some friends. I had so much fun. That was my first time going to Michigan's Adventure since middle school. Also, I watched the 4th of July fireworks here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan for the first time. Let me tell you, they were really good, but if I'm going to be honest, the fireworks last year in Saginaw were better than the Mount Pleasant fireworks this year. That's just my opinion, of course. And lastly, another big event that happened during the month of July was my sister's graduation party. I had a lot of fun at that too. It's always nice to see family, especially since I don't get to see them too often. During the month of August, I went to the Saginaw County Fair and the Midland County Fair with some friends. Also, I went to Mooney's with my friend Abby Thompson. It was so nice to see her again, especially since I haven't really seen her since 2021, at least before this year, of course. In September, I went to Wayside for the first time. Also, I met my friend Jaden Walker at this one event where we were allowed to design our own reusable tote bags. During the month of October, I turned 21. My 21st birthday was definitely the best birthday I've ever had. I went to the Bird here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan with some of my friends. Also, that Saturday, which was October 8th, my birthday is on October 6th. So on October 8th, my parents, my sister and I went to Grand Rapids for a day trip. Also, during the month of October, I went to Wayside for the second time. It was packed as all get out. If I'm going to be honest, it was too packed for my liking. Lastly, another thing I did during the month of October was film the field hockey game versus Longwood. That was also senior night for the girls. In November, I went to see Black Panther Wakanda Forever with 2 of my friends here in Mount Pleasant. It was a very emotional film, like I've said in my other videos. Also, my friend Malachi Stuckey turned 21, and we had a good time for sure. Finally, for the month of December, I participated in Ugly Sweater Day at Kohl's. Funny story, I actually bought my ugly sweater right before my shift started the day we participated in Ugly Sweater Day, which was Friday, December 16th. Also, I did hang out with 3 of my Saginaw friends on Tuesday, December 27th. We went to see Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and then we went out to eat at Golden Corral afterwards. There you have it, some highlights from each month of 2022. Now, I'm going to talk about my top 3 moments of this year. At number 3, we have me getting my first film job. I feel very proud of myself for giving my all to filming events for the Chippewa Sports Network. I give my all at everything, but with film, I always try my hardest, mainly because that's what I want to do with my life. While I want to work on movies, filming events for the CSN here at CMU is just a start. So, like I said earlier, my first event was a baseball game versus Madonna University, and then my last event for this year was a men's basketball game against Youngstown State. I worked a total of 11 events this year. I was proud of how I did at all of them for the most part, And then when basketball season came in November, my boss was able to tell that I'm improving. I feel like I'm improving as well, especially during the last game I worked. I've worked the camera at every event I worked this year, except for the 2 football games I worked. So overall, my first film job is going well, and I finished 2022 off with a bang. Can't wait to improve even more in 2023. At number 2, we have the trip to Michigan's Adventure. Ever since some friends and I did the guys trip to Frankenmuth last summer, I've been planning to go to Michigan's Adventure with some friends this summer as well. Let me tell you, we had a blast, no doubt. I know I said that before, but I really had a good time. This was the best thing I did over the summer. It was so nice to go to the amusement park for the first time. While Michigan's Adventures amusement park isn't as good as Cedar Point's, we still had a pretty good time. And then it was nice to go to the water park again. This was my 3rd time going to Michigan's Adventure as a whole. The first time I went, it was with my godbrother and my godsister back in August of 2012. And then the second time I went was for a field trip my 7th grade year, like I said earlier. So the majority of what I did in the water park was going the wave pool by the water park entrance. Turns out there was 2 more wave pools. The last thing I did at the water park of Michigan's Adventure was go in the big people wave pool. Essentially, there's one wave pool specifically for kids, and then there's another wave pool specifically for teenagers and adults. So I went in the teenagers and adults wave pool for my last water park attraction, and let me tell you, the waves were a lot bigger than in the one by the water park entrance. One of the waves got water up my nose, and then my friend Joe Mar, he had to get out because there was too much for him. But Michigan's Adventures water park is better than an amusement park. Then at the amusement park, the first thing we did was go on this ride called the Sea Dragon. And then the last thing we did before we got something to eat at the park was go on this roller coaster called the Mad Mouse. And then after we left the water park, we did bumper cars for our final attraction before we took a picture and headed out. Thankfully, we left before it started raining. So while Michigan's Adventure was a fun time, the only thing I didn't like about Michigan's Adventure was the high prices for the food. So my friends and I, we went to this place called Coasters. That food was so pricey. On top of all that, the workers at that restaurant said they didn't have any lids for their drinks because they were trying to preserve the environment. When in reality, we all know that's just them being cheap. But overall, Michigan's Adventure was a fun time. Definitely the best thing I did this summer. So it deserves to come in at number 2. Now, coming in at number 1 is my 21st birthday. Like I said earlier, my 21st birthday was definitely the best birthday I've ever had. Obviously, 21 is the age where people can start legally drinking. For my first drinks, I had 2 Sprite vodkas and I had a Superman shot and a Mount Pleasant water shot. My friends definitely made it the best. Like, we went to this place called The Bird here in Mount Pleasant, like I said earlier, and we all had a good time talking and all of that. And we had some good food as well. My friends and I, we had a good time at The Bird. Like I said earlier, that weekend, which was Saturday, October 8th, is the day we went to Grand Rapids. My parents, my sister, and I, we went to the Gerald R. Ford Presidential Museum. And then afterwards, we went to the Grand Rapids Public Museum. And then we went to Woodland Mall. We went to the Black Rock inside the mall, and then my mom and I did some shopping, whereas my dad and my sister went to do other stuff. My 21st birthday, definitely the best birthday I've ever had, and I was told it all goes downhill from here. Therefore, my 21st birthday comes in at number 1. There you have it, my top 3 moments of 2022. Happy New Year, and I'll see you all in 2023. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Also, feel free to talk about your top 3 moments of this year. When I say talk about, you can either just list them in the comment section down below, or you could go into more detail on why those are your top 3 moments of this year. Thank you for watching. Peace out.